A very good evening to you all. Thank you for watching UBC Television. My name is Wadula Mark Arnold, your news anchor for the next 1 hour, along with Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. Without further ado, let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Venerable Canon Moses Banja consecrated 6th Bishop of Namirembe Diocese. President Museveni hails church for engaging Christians in development initiatives. And KCCA working on all physical works around the Central Business District ahead of the NAM and G77 plus China Summit. Once again, thank you for joining us, and we now give you the news in detail. Venerable Canon Moses Banja has been consecrated the 6th Bishop of Namirembe Diocese. The Archbishop of Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Samuel Kazimba Mugalu, consecrated Venerable Canon Moses Banja at St. Paul Cathedral, Namirembe. We have more details on this report.
Seasons come and seasons go. It's only Jesus Christ who never changes. Brethren, His Grace the Archbishop and the 2 deans, in their welcoming remarks, handled the protocol very well. Nange, Mwena, brother bishops, the chief guest, other invited guests, abantu ba Katonda mwenna abakunganye leero. It was on the 31st of May 2009 when we witnessed the consecration and enthronement of the 5th Bishop of Namirembe Diocese. 14 years and 6 months down the road, we are here today witnessing the consecration of the 6th Bishop of Namirembe Diocese. Brethren, this is the Lord is doing, and it is marvelous in our sight. Mwebaza nnyo oyeyampa amaanyi ye Kristo Yesu Mukama waffe, kubanga yandowooza nga ndi mwesigwa bwe yanteeka mu buweereza buno. I want to thank you, dear brethren, beginning with the Archbishop, brother bishops, clergy and lay readers, and all people of God for accepting us and helping us to serve with you for all those years. It has been a journey. So for whatever has been realized and achieved in this ministry, we say, to God be the glory. I hold all of you, individuals, families, institutions like banks, and in particular Equity Bank, schools, and high institutions of learning, Ssaabasajja Kabaka wa Buganda, Maama Nabagereka, n'Obwakabaka bwa Buganda bwonna, Oweekitiibwa ennyo President wa Uganda, ministers of central government, members of parliament, the Assistant Chancellor, Deputy Assistant Chancellor, the clergy, the lay readers.
Tonight the Lord called me to be a bishop. So I want to appreciate God.
Owe Namirembe nga bakulemberwa Diini wa Lutikko.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has issued a call to universities and other tertiary institutions to prioritize courses that create jobs so as to feed the government's industrialization policy. In a message read for him by the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, at the 32nd graduation of the Islamic University in Uganda at Mbale main campus, the President also tasked higher institutions of learning to equip students with skills that boost private sector.
Investments in research for product development and innovation serves customers' needs. State Minister for Trade in charge of industries David Bahati has hailed companies that support government by creating employment and paying taxes. He was speaking during the Movie 26th anniversary celebrations in Barara City.
I want to congratulate his efforts, the efforts of those who work with him, the vision, and to say that as government, we are committed to continuing building an environment where entrepreneurship will flourish, where people like Simpson Bilungi will...
All of them, mashallah.
Islamic University in Uganda has graduated 2,570 students in different disciplines, with female graduates totaling to 1,429, translating into 56%, and 1,141 male, making 44%. The President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who was represented by the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, called upon higher institutions in the country to focus on courses that enable students to be job creators so as to support government's industrialization policy that is geared to fighting unemployment among Ugandans.
Have maintained high academic standards over the last 3 decades. I take this opportunity to congratulate you upon being voted by the Consumers' Choice Awards as the best private university in Uganda.
The President also commended the IUIU for being outstanding in producing equitable workers that are adding value to the country's economy.
That the Bazukulu attain education at this great institution of higher learning. Education is a precursor for individual and national development.
The President further warned graduates against a lifestyle that will compromise their desired goals in life. Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, the State Minister for Higher Education, lauded the IUIU for its consistent performance, urging other institutions countrywide to ensure they do not compromise quality standards of the Ministry of Education as set by the government to benefit Ugandans.
Is demanding a lot, and you need to learn soft skills, including teamwork, creativity, flexibility, and time management. You must look out for the opportunities to further your studies.
The IUIU Rector, Professor Ismail Simbwa Jagenda, explained that the 32nd graduation has had the ever biggest population, with 1,429 graduates, which he attributes to commitment of the university staff. Professor Ismail Simbwa Jagenda tasked the graduates to exploit the skills inculcated in them so as to enhance development in their different communities and the country at large.
Integrity, excellence, diversity, and creativity. Moreover, you are joining a distinguished group of IUIU alumni who are all over the globe, positively contributing to make the world a better place.
Some of the graduates expressed gratitude and explained their next step after the academic achievement.
Islamic University in Uganda with a bachelor's degree in journalism. I want to thank my parents who have enabled me succeed up to this point. From the point I started school up to now, I have achieved a lot. They have paid school fees, and I really want to appreciate them all for everything they have done for me.
Nemusanyufu nti kosi nagironda ate empe emirembe gyenjagala era nsuubira okusakisidinga mu kosi eno mu profession eno neyanziza.
Tibadde byangu nnyo ne tusaba Allah tukwatireko atamukwatireko naye kennyini amuwa obulungi bino byasomye. Twebaza IUIU olw'ebyekoze. Alhamdulillah n'abasomesa tubebaza bonna. Amiina alhamdulillah amiina Mungu yebale kutusobozesa. Mwana wange webale kusoma. Tusaba ubeere n'empisa ubeere mwana muwulize eri abantu. Amiina alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Lokwebaza essomero lyange Islamic University in Uganda, Madde Kampala campus, and it has been the best university. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
The ceremony was also attended by the second Deputy Prime Minister, Moses Ali, who has been awarded Honorary Doctorate of Laws of IUIU for the great achievements he rendered to the country. I'm Navka Farida and Robert Katamba.
PhD. General Retired Moses Ali.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appealed to married couples to adopt correct ways of wealth creation to contribute to socio-economic transformation of the country. This was contained in the President's message delivered by the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Nabanja Robina, at the wedding reception of Mr. and Mrs. Bob Nsaba Kabanza at Speak Resort, Munyonyo.
The President congratulated the family of the late Professor Anthony Mbonyi and Mrs. Lucy Nachobe Mbonyi and the family of the bride for giving their children good upbringing. The President asked the newly wedded couple to keep the legacy of their parents.
You have watered their roots and helped them to blossom. I trust that they will continue to flourish in their new home.
Through Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, President Museveni advised the couple to work together on investment or projects that create wealth and income to the family.
You will be able to liberate yourselves from poverty and contribute to the socio-economic transformation of your country.
Museveni says that in traditional Africa, children belong to the entire community.
In the traditional Africa, children belong not only to the family and the clan, but to the entire community.
Children also had a responsibility of meeting the community's expectations.
Children also had the responsibility of meeting the community's expectations. They were expected to contribute to the development, welfare, and survival of their communities.
The wedding reception was graced by former Vice President Edward Chiwanka Sekandi, Minister for the Presidency Millie Babalanda, Permanent Secretaries, and Chief Administrative Officers. I'm Benon Mokwaya with Kasoha Ismail.
Kampala Capital City Authority is working to ensure that all physical works around the Central Business District be completed on schedule as the country prepares for the January 2024 Nana Line Movement and G plus China Summit. KCCA is upgrading roads and drainage systems, as this report details.
For a while, members of the general public have pointed at the government for failing to solve the issue of floods in Kampala Capital City.
Our terrain is having the challenge of being hills and valleys.
But why has this been a persistent burden to the city dwellers?
We had a green city. As we talk now, we are moving towards a concrete city. By what I mean by concrete, we are talking about the houses, the buildings, and everything that we are having. So what finally we are getting as a challenge is that we are having a lot of water flowing on surface, unlike originally where water was absorbed in those green areas.
Kampala Capital City Authority has started addressing the shortfalls in the drainage system.
So this was kind of an opportunity. We said, no, this financial year we need to focus on those drainage flood spots. And this is one of them, which was as a, we have others like Kosovo in Lubaga. We are also going to construct a box structure at Usafi Market. So, because that's one of the places that has been flooded. So it is our strategy in the medium term and the short term. Of course, in the long term, we think if we can get sufficient resources to fully implement the Kampala Drainage Master Plan.
Engineer Maurice Kaironia is the Deputy Director for Roads and Drainage at KCCA.
Sometimes the KCCA does not have money. And when you see the problems of KCCA's roads and drainage, they are enormous. If we are going to overhaul this infrastructure of the city in terms of drainage and roads, KCCA will require almost like about 3 trillion in the next, probably, I would say, maybe 5 or 6 years.
Namutata Pius is the site engineer at these spots.
Yeah, on a technical perspective, the major cause of flooding was really because of the swamp encroachment. Many of the residents here had encroached on the swamp, as you can see, but due to intervention of KCCA, with the planning sector, they were able to come and find routes where water was supposed to be.
These are part of the plans to meet the requirements as Uganda prepares for the non-aligned movement and the G77 plus China summits in January 2024.
The layer we are on is the sub-base layer. and we are going on base, and later we do the asphalt. So we hope within this month, on the 22nd, we shall be able to lay what? Asphalt. And asphalt, as you can see, that is the topmost layer where vehicles and traffic move through.
Some are proposing that there is need to revise the city's physical plan.
As we talk now, we are totaling to over 4 million people in Kampala during the day, maybe 2 million people, 2.5 at night. So what does this mean? We need another physical plan.
So I want to agree that we need to revisit our physical plans, and I think we are doing that behind the scenes. Most of these plans, people don't talk about them. That's why for us we said, for me when I took over the job as Deputy Director Roads and Valley, I told my ED I am going to be the spokesperson for my work. Okay? And I'll speak for the roads we are doing, I'll speak for every small drainage project we are doing. So the small gains we are making, people must know what we are doing. Otherwise, most of the time we are bashed that we are not doing anything.
Kampala City is the face of Uganda, so such efforts will put the city and the country at the forefront. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
And now, key players in the financial industry and aligned sectors have been empowered on issues pertaining to anti-money laundering best practices. This is in light of the country being scrapped off the global anti-money laundering watchdog grey list in 2024. Now, Uganda has put a lot of hard work in the last 3 years to address all the 22 action items agreed by the Financial Action Task Force.
So far, we are faring well, relatively well. But of course, we can only confirm when the team comes and they take back the report.
There are high hopes of Uganda being removed from the grey list in the first half of 2024. To prepare and ensure that the country is sustainably off the grey list, the Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services, in collaboration with the central bank, have trained key financial industry players on anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism best practices.
To prepare and create as much awareness as necessary, especially for the practitioners, the compliance officers, those into law enforcement and other investigative arms of government. So that has been basically the session, and we're able to describe the two risks and also indicate to them potential red flags that could help them identify or form suspicion that their system is being used for financing terrorists or preparation.
Key action points included taking action and complying with regulations, knowing your customer, and enhancing due diligence, among others.
How is the technology enabling money launderers? How do we collaborate between institutions? Because we realize that financial organizations do not operate as islands. We operate within an ecosystem of so many stakeholders, funders, clients, and so on and so forth. So how do we collaborate? Those are mainly the objectives of the training.
There are concerns about financial institutions operating as islands where collaboration will be beneficial.
Each officer in the bank has a personal liability. Then the institution has a liability, but also the financial system has a liability. So our discussion has been evolving around knowledge, but above all appreciating our legal liability to ensure that we protect ourselves, we protect the institutions, but also we create a society that is good for us.
A major implication of being grey-listed is the reputational damage to a country, as its effectiveness in combating financial crimes like corruption and money laundering, as well as terror financing, are deemed to be below the international standards. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
And government has also been urged to entrust local contractors with major infrastructure projects in the country. This plea has been made by the Managing Director of Muga Services, a Uganda construction company owner by the names of Isaac Ibanda. The plea by Ibanda comes at a time when Uganda is gearing up to host the Non-Aligned Movement and G77 summits plus China in January 2024.
Uganda's major infrastructural projects in sectors like roads, oil,
education and health have always been handled by foreign construction companies, despite government's effort to implement the local content policy. The policy incorporates local contractors in all construction projects. The Managing Director, Muga Services Limited, Isaac Ibanda, says local contractors decry being sidelined in mega projects.
Yeah, we are looking at making some conditions within the bidding documents more flexible. For instance, the turnover, which usually they put in the contracts, favor only international companies. Now, if those turnovers are made that local contractors also qualify, especially if you have done a number of tarmac roads, which are equally to the same measure as of those of international, and then we are given flexible terms of accessing funding from the banks, or government puts there a fund whereby some of the condition it comes out to support us.
Local contractors work through the implementing agencies like Uganda National Roads Authority, the Road Fund, Kampala Capital City Authority, and other local governments to procure project works. Although the local construction industry was affected by the long procurement procedures, the e-procurement system has been a solution.
It has eased the work, yeah. Where you could spend a lot of work photocopying documents, spending a lot of money, moving here and there. It just takes you to have your documents all in electronic form, that whenever you are asked to submit, you have them ready and then you submit, which we find it a more simpler way of doing procurement compared to the other manual.
Local contractors sometimes lack equipment, limited access to affordable capital, poor staff retention and delayed payments. Diana Olweng Peters, UBC News.
Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, has held the 41st extraordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government in Djibouti capital. The Assembly discussed, among other issues, the escalation fighting in Sudan between the Sudan Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces.
IGAD has held the 41st summit attended by the presidents of Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya and Somalia, with representatives from South Sudan, Uganda, and the president of the Sudanese Transition Sovereign Council, General Ali Burhan Fattah.
Welcome, Your Excellencies, to the 41st Extraordinary Assembly of IGAD Heads of State and Government. As we convene, Your Excellencies, in unity and solidarity, in support of our IGAD family members in the Republic of Sudan, the challenges they are facing demand our collective wisdom, commitment, and concrete action.
The Assembly was concerned about the current situation between the two warring factions in Sudan.
The acute crisis ravaging the Sudan is a real disaster. The situation has deteriorated, and there is a flagrant and widespread violation of human rights and the international humanitarian law, and the sufferings of the civilians have become unbearable.
President of the Republic of Djibouti and the chair of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gurey, hosted the meeting.
Convened to address the situation in Sudan. This is a testament to our shared commitment to the principles that unites us as a regional force for peace, stability, and prosperity. I would also like to express my gratitude to the Executive Secretary, Dr. Warqine Gabayo, and his team for their efficiency in organizing this summit on such short notice.
The Assembly secured a commitment from the Sudanese team to convene a meeting and agree to address the aspirations of the Sudanese people. The United Nations envoy and representatives from the IGAD member states in the region attended the meeting. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
And in more UBC News tonight, Chairman of Nabugabo Spare Parts Sacco, now Nyota Sacco, Kakande Tony, has urged youth to embrace government programs to get out of poverty. This was during a function organized to sensitize ghetto youth to get out of poverty.
Formerly known as Nabugabo Spare Parts Sacco, urged the government to further educate the youth on utilizing money from the Sacco.
And we believe with the help of the government, we shall do that. Because the good thing is, first we have...
He thanked General Salim Saleh and Lieutenant Colonel Chibale, Major Emma, who contributed money in their Sacco.
He has helped us a lot. He has really done a lot to see that we grow.
Some of the youths who have benefited in this program thanked the government for the support. I'm Benon Mukwaya with Jamil Sekaja in Kampala.
Joy covered Lira City when Brigadier General Chris Ogwal was walking to the aisle with his bride Agnes Ogwal. The attainment of holy matrimony was commissioned by Reverend Johnson Ogema from Victory Outreach Church in Lira City. He reminds the couple the task ahead amidst a well-planned ceremony as entailed in the story.
Walking down the aisle is the commander of Junior Command and Staff College in Jinja, Brigadier General Chris Ogwal and his wife Agnes Ogwal. The uniform worn on such a ceremony is outstanding and is called number 1 ceremonial, composed of a Botswana cap, red tunic and a sash, black trouser and a black pair of shoes.
With a very, very clean shirt inside the tunic, specifically for functions.
He's accompanied by officers of the same rank and they all carry a sword.
The swords are very, very important in the match, what we call making the arch of the wedding. That function of the arch is very important in the church. That is where the crown of the wedding takes place. And we are always encouraged to watch it keenly.
The couple is marched by the army band, and among the pallbearers is a senior officer who commands. At the reception, the groom removes the sword from the sheath and puts in a saluting form.
That, of course, after saluting the cake and everybody who was present, and then he holds the hand of the bride. He covers it on the holder of the sword, and they do what we call the first cut of the cake. And then thereafter, everything is done.
At the wedding, Reverend Johnson Ogema of Victory Outreach Church asked the married to remain disciplined.
Just tell him to do tell your wife. To be disciplined. And the Bible says he will die for lack of.
A successful wedding requires planning. A military wedding can be challenging considering the military traditions and protocol.
The rehearsals have been going on for the last 2 weeks. All the officers who are marching have rehearsed. The same thing is supposed to be done throughout.
Eddie Ulwa, UBC News.
UBC TV News Tonight now takes a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business, so please do not move an inch.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tubayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism by curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy. With the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we're in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tubayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play. Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Wait, Titus, you need to take your medicine.
But Mom, they are playing without me.
Here, swallow your medicine fast. I don't want you to get another headache from that infection.
Medicines help us feel better when we are ill, but sometimes they can cause side effects. By reporting side effects, you help us learn about the medicine we use. This improves quality of care for each patient. Always report suspected side effects to NDA. Together, we can make medicines safer for everyone. This message is brought to you by National Drug Authority with support from Global Fan.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. In a world of business, as a way of reducing the effects caused by inorganic fertilizers, farmers in Bukedi sub-region in Mbale district are making organic fertilizers to promote soil health. Biochar as a charcoal-like substance that is made by burning rice husks. Saddam Obale has a report that he filed on this issue.
Farmers in Bukedi sub-region, western Uganda in Mbale districts are using rice husks to make organic fertilizers in the garden to improve soil health. Biochar is a black substance produced by burning biomass materials from soft agriculture and forest wastes in a controlled process called pyrolysis. Biochar is produced using a specific process to reduce oxygen and safety store carbon. Ebong Andrew, a farmer in Mbale, produces biochar after burning rice husks.
When it has lights like this, when it's lit like this, we will turn it upside down. Yes. Slowly. You can see from you're watching the smoke to make sure that the fire has not gone off. There, after you put the husk around it, you lit the carbonizer and allow the the heat from the lit carbonizer to slowly migrate into the husk, the residues of the crop. And that is how it can start burning from inside going outside. Then you keep on turning until the uniformity is there. Uniformity of charcoal looking like thing. There are no white husk the way you see it on top of it. So that is the whole process. So when that process is finished, you turn off the fire with water.
Due to limited funds to produce modern chimneys for biochar making, farmers are using locally produced equipment.
The process, the entire process of production must be climate smart. What you see here is not yet climate smart because you are seeing smoke. This is still not acceptable. We should not see any smoke. So it should not pollute the environment. And that is the second and the third level of carbonization I talked about earlier. So we are slowly going to migrate into this non-climate smart process into completely climate smart process. And then biochar will be completely climate responsive product.
Ebong has used this biochar in his small-scale vegetable growing garden, and the healthy green vegetables are a clear testimony of how effective biochar is.
The soil structure. So this is our long-term experimental field, and we have done it with vegetables throughout the year. You can never come here and miss the vegetable, and it helps the community. Here we sell it for money.
Inorganic fertilizers can disrupt the natural balance of nutrients in the soil, leading to nutrients imbalances and reduced soil quality. This can result in the loss of organic matter in the soil, decreased soil fertility, and susceptibility to erosion. Etiang Joseph is a soil scientist from National Agriculture Organization.
We have talked about returning carbon back to the soil. If you burn it, you are releasing carbon dioxide, and that is not good for the environment. So when we return it back to the soil, carbon is stored. It helps us to store carbon so that it doesn't cause a lot of challenges. We are talking about climate change, we are talking about increasing temperatures because a lot of carbon dioxide evaporates. So biochar is a good product, and we are doing some tests to try how it will benefit from the crop. So one of the crops that we are trying it with is coffee. We apply it on the coffee and then allow it to take some data from that coffee, right from agronomic parameters, and then also finally the yield, what will come out of that coffee.
It is a climate smart product. So what it does is that it limits the emissions of greenhouse gases during the decompositions, during the time when you applied into the field. So it makes actually agriculture more climate smart.
Biochar technology will mitigate climate change and improve soil quality, as well as reducing waste to produce energy.
The time we are buying a fertilizer or a 50 kg bag at 250 UG shillings, which was quite expensive for a farmer. But if you have the biochar and you produce it locally at home, that first of all cuts the cost of transportation of the bulk fertilizer, and then the longer term effect of it accumulating nutrients by itself that are from the surrounding areas. That are the indicators that the biochar will be cheaper for a farmer, and it will provide him with more benefits. Like I told you, conserving water in the area, improving the aeration of the soil, and improving the nutrient storage by that soil. All this becomes cheaper for him.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, in Bukedi Sub-Region.
Thank you very much, Saddam Mubale. Now, earlier on I had mentioned that was in Bukedi Sub-Region. I do beg your pardon, that was in Bugisu Sub-Region, Mbale District. Now, the chairman of the Uganda Capital Markets Authority, Saulo Seremba, has challenged the players in the real estate sector to embrace professional and ethical standards to revamp the image of the sector. Seremba was at the inaugural graduation ceremony of the real estate professionals of the Global Institute of Property Studies in Kampala.
As stakeholders in the real estate sector wait for the new law to regulate them through the Ministry of Lands and Housing, there is need for professional and ethical training to revamp the public image of the sector. The chairman of the Uganda Capital Markets Authority, Saulo Seremba, was speaking at the graduation ceremony of the Global Institute of Property Studies in Kampala.
In my address to the graduates, I made it clear that no industry, no sector can grow without professionalism. We have seen it work elsewhere, and we believe professionalism will bring out the trust that the public has lost in the industry.
Lack of formal professional training of the players in the sector has been a challenge to the profession for quite some time.
Previously, we've not had institutes or apart from universities that offer real estate education, yet we have so many people who are practicing real estate. They work, but they don't have any real estate education background.
These are some of the pioneer graduates
that have been able to acquire the certificate as part of my career. For the certificate to add on to my knowledge, to help my clients with houses, do property management. So I'm excited and I'm ready to go out there.
It's the first of its kind, and from GIPS Institute, so we're delighted. It is to change the base of Uganda and the entire network in regards to property management and real estates.
Training modules in the course include property management, economics and planning, ethics, property technology, corporate real estate management. Sada Mubale, Juko Collins, UBC News.
The government-led Myoga program has transformed many in the districts of Mbarara and Ntungamo, fostering entrepreneurship and self-reliance. We have a detailed report in this regard.
In Ntungamo district, Rushenyi County, performing artists Myoga Sako Rukopao has transformed lives for local artists and communities in Ntungamo district. Established in 2021, Rukopao Sako, comprised of 23 associations, received a seed capital of Ugandan shillings 50 million from government with over 400 members. The Sako has recovered 175 million shillings in loans.
Each of those members who is receiving funds must confess, must testify that he has received that money. He must say, I so and so have received a Myoga money and I'm going to use it, pay it very well and let my circle grow. That's the process we're using. When you go there and tell people that that money, if you misuse it, if you fail to pay it, the video is there.
Boaz Twesiga, the circle's chairperson, urged the Karamoja Myoga Circle leaders to channel government grants into ventures that promote community harmony.
I am telling them that you go there in your area, use us, let us keep on communicating so that we make these Myoga circles, we make them strong. Because Myoga is going to help each and every one of us.
With the 1 million shilling loan from Rukopao Myoga, Abias Mwebesa has expanded his soap and cosmetic making business.
As an increment of the money I got, my business had boomed. I'm getting a lot out of the business. Let every person join Myoga.
In Rushenyi, persons with disabilities, Myoga Sako has empowered persons with disabilities. In Imbara district, members of Kashari South restaurant owners Myoga Credit have diversified capital investments, with a remarkable 75% of them engaging in economic activities that yield daily earnings.
We have started adding value to some of the products that we are using in our own restaurants. For example, we have members who have started making yogurt. We have members who have started packing fruits. We have members who have started making wine from the bananas.
The beneficiary, Rogers Masiko, a 32-year-old father of two from Orubare Mabira Parish in Imbara, was formerly a casual laborer earning 20,000 shillings monthly. He got Ugandan shillings 2 million, loan from Kashari Myoga Sako, and invested in passion fruit farming. He has returns of 11 million shillings after every harvest. He has ventured into value addition by producing banana wine.
Each banana, when I make my wine, it goes to 150,000 each banana throughout the year.
Others, they are buying at 7,000.
Masiko now owns a motorcycle and has created employment for others. Story compiled by Robert Boita for UBC News.
The resident district commissioner for Bunyangabu district, Joshua Masereka, has ordered for the arrest of 4 parish chiefs and 1 PDM SACCO chairperson who were allegedly distorting money from the population over parish development model funds. The arrest came in after the people tipped them off.
The 5 officials have been arrested on allegations of distorting money from the community, promising them to get parish development model funds. Those who have been arrested are parish chiefs in Chiombia sub-county in Bunyangabu district. This therefore addresses indiscipline among government workers. Bunyangabu district commercial officer Peter Nyakana noted that the PDM first bench was given to those groups that had applied, and some groups have utilized the money appropriately.
After people seeing that the PDM is real, others were thinking it is just hearsay, and they've witnessed many people receive money in their parishes. So many people have embraced the program. Now each parish has over 500 applicants. So many groups have been formed, especially in the months of September, October.
PDM is a government program received free of charge. I'm Benon Mokwaya with Mthabali Moses.
The State Minister for Trade in charge of industries, David Bahati, has hailed companies that support government by creating employment and paying taxes. He was speaking during the MOVIT 26th anniversary, where he said that Ugandans are ranked among the top entrepreneurs in Africa but lack sustainability capacities for their enterprises. The proprietor of MOVIT products in Africa, Simpson Birungi, says that they have survived in the market because of understanding consumer needs.
Investments in research for product development and innovation serves customers' needs. State Minister for Trade in charge of industries David Bahati has hailed companies that support government by creating employment and paying taxes. He was speaking during the MOVIT 26th anniversary celebrations in Barara City.
I want to congratulate his efforts, the efforts of those who work with him, the vision, and to say that as government, we are committed to continuing building an environment where entrepreneurship will flourish, where people like Simpson Birungi will continue to use their innovation to develop their country, their products, to develop their companies, and provide jobs, pay taxes, and create wealth.
The proprietor of MOVIT products in Africa, Simpson, says they have supported the country's development and created jobs for over 2,000 Ugandans.
We contribute a lot to this economy in terms of taxes, in terms of bringing dollars from outside Uganda. We are doing a lot. And our big agenda into this is to have MOVIT products in each household in Africa in 10 years to come. That's what we are driving.
The head of marketing, Chitanda Robert, said besides Uganda, MOVIT products sell in 100 countries in Africa and beyond.
Today we are here to celebrate Ugandans because it's Ugandans who loved us first. It's Ugandans that propelled us from one stage to another. And we are here to say it's 26 years down the road. They say in Uganda we have a lot of entrepreneurship. Many companies are starting up, but many don't live to see their first birthday. If we have a totally indigenous company that has been here for 26 years, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5. This is 26 years of excellence, 26 years of serving Ugandans. I think it's something worth celebrating. That's why we are here to tell our customers, thank you, and thank you.
For us, what has been able to keep us afloat in the market has been the consumer engagement that we are talking about. We are those people who reach out to the last person on the grassroots. Our products are for everybody across board. We don't have classes. We support everybody, and everybody supports us and buys our products.
era tugiridde nga ffe abakyala era tusiima nnyo empeereza ya Moviti. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala.
Tusanyuse n'abamoviti bano kintu kye bakoze kibadde kirungi nnyo. Tubeebaza era tubeebaliza ddala.
Kyalo baba babiseera ate distance eba nene kutuuka gye tubijja kandi katunooreba kutwija kuno Moviti ebbeeyi batusabiddeko akasente katono kati.
The Executive Director, Uganda Manufacturers Association, Dr. Ezra Rubanda, hailed Simpson Birungi for his resilience in business and opening up doors to many other industrialists. He says Simpson started the manufacturing business in days when the business environment was still fragile.
Yes, we thank Movit for contributing taxes, for contributing on employment. But there are so many industries that do that as well. The most important thing that we really thank Movit for is being able to open up for new industrialists that are coming up. If you want to learn anything and you go to Movit, their industries are always wide open to others. They are not like other industries where you'll go and everywhere it's locked, you don't see what is happening. That is why we see now there is a very big upcoming group under cosmetics, because Movit, they are the leaders in cosmetics. They are encouraging even others to come up.
Movit Group of Companies, the pioneers of cosmetic products in Uganda, was founded in 1997 and has passed the test of consumer preference and has been innovative.
Let's now take a short commercial break and be back with sports news.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tuwayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism by curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy. With the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we're in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tuwayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
Bino byebifo byemugenda okutegelya mu Uganda okusingidde nga 26 December tugenda ku Entebbe Resort Beach omuli Africa Band, Alien Skin n'abayimbi abaliko era Boxing Day Palasa Shiba kwa Kamwesi
Shiba Karungi, and I'm calling you out on Boxing Day at Kamwesi Mall.
Abayimbi abalala bangi asitatu mu December tugenda kwa Sheraton Gardens Radio for UG Mix Dance Party Dr. Jose Chameleon, Big Size Baby Cool, Shiba Karungi n'abalala bangi asitatu mu December Masindi tugenda kwa Radio 7 UG Mix Dance Party lumu January 2029 tweyiwa ku Resort Beach Entebbe olwo lumu January era tugenda ku Africa Band kwa Kamwesi kati gwomanyi gy'onaagenda bitikikibwa Baitu Group Limited biteedwa mu sente Leonard Contractors no worries but I'm sounds Baitu Group
Where you go MTN.
Juko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko, I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. But what you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. In the world of sports, Uganda's senior women cricket team, the Victoria Pearls, have beaten Rwanda with a 6-wicket win in the campaign at the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Africa qualifier. In their first game of the tournament, played at Entebbe Lakeside Oval in Uganda, the Victoria Pearls chose to bowl, first limiting Rwanda to 87 runs for 5 wickets in 20 overs. Uganda came back in the second innings to chase comfortably, making 89 runs, 4 wickets in just 16 overs and winning the game by 6 wickets. Captain Konzi Aweko with 1 wicket, 11 runs and 4 overs, and Vice Captain Janet Mbabazi with 3 wickets, 14 runs in 4 overs, were Uganda's top performers, with Janet Mbabazi also claiming the Player of the Match award. Uganda will take on Namibia next on Tuesday, 12th December 2023 at the Entebbe Lakeside Oval at 1:50 p.m.
It also gives us confidence as a team and see how well we are working on our plans we had set before. So I believe this win gives us that momentum to pick up and build onto the remaining games that are ahead of us. As a team, our spinners, my spinners, did their best and we brought back the game because pace was kind of tricky, but the spinners did their job, and thanks to them we brought the total down, and it helped us to also chase a low score.
Of course the game went very well for Uganda. But I still believe Uganda have to work hard. I still believe they would have done better what they have done. And upcoming games, I'm sure they will work harder and come back harder.
They're carrying the same, the same winning energies into the next game. There's not much that we are going to change. We are hoping to even just get better, use the positives that we've learned from this game, and we're taking it to the next game. Yeah.
The way we lost the game, I think, is on batting side. We didn't manage to put more runs on the board.
I think all teams are kind of putting in a lot of feet to make sure they qualify for the Globals. Of course, we well know that 2 slots are up for grabs, so everyone has come out to showcase all the talent and skills that they have so that they can make the best of the tournament.
Well, a stitching time saves 9, so it's only right that we let you get to what you must before joining us later on for our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo, Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad on Sign Language. See you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Come and shine in Blascon Paint and win the Twake edition. Buy Blascon Paint worth 100,000 shillings. Get a scratch card and SMS the code to 7197. Not only will you win instant airtime, but you could take home 1 million shillings daily, a share of 4 million million shillings each week or a brand new motorbike with fuel worth 100,000 shillings. Terms and conditions apply. Plascon, color your world.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics would like to inform all stakeholders that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will launch the National Population and Housing Census of 2024 on Tuesday, the 12th of December 2023 at the Kololo Independence Grounds at 2 p.m. Follow the proceedings live on radio, television and online platforms. It matters to be counted. Signed by Dr. Chris Ndatira Mukiza, the Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics.
Wait, Titus, you need to take your medicine.
But Mom, they are playing without me.
Here, swallow your medicine fast. I don't want you to get another headache from that infection.
Medicines help us feel better when we are ill, but sometimes they can cause side effects. By reporting side effects, you help us learn about the medicine we use. This improves quality of care for each patient. Always report suspected side effects to NDA. Together, we can make medicines safer for everyone. This message is brought to you by National Drug Authority with support from Global Fund.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Youth of Purpose.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to give you a platform as young people to be able to contribute to what happens in this country, but also better your lives. Now, this season, we've seen a lot of rains, and previously we were having a lot of actually droughts, both here in Uganda and in East Africa generally. And today we want to be looking at the issue of climate change. We keep saying, you know, conferences, summits, basically about climate change. Are they having an impact? Maybe, maybe not. But today we want to be able to start from the ground. What can you be able to do from where you are? But also as young people, what role can we play in making sure that we become the green ambassadors of climate change and making sure that we are able to protect our environment and have a better Uganda. And with me, I have Anne and Tony, who are going to be helping us to delve into this discussion, but also tell us what they are doing as individuals, but also as the organizations where they are working from in as far as transforming Uganda in the climate aspect. Tony and Anne, welcome to Youth of Purpose, and starting with you, Tony.
Thank you.
Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Hello, my fellow youth. My name is Tony Matthias Jr., current president of the Green Ambassadors Club, and I'm very delighted to be here.
Hello, fellow youth. I am Nakazi Annette, and I'm a Green Ambassador, vice president at the moment. And I'm very glad to be here, share ideas about climate change and how we can better our lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And when we talk climate change, what are we talking about?
When you talk climate change, when it comes down to the person down here, let alone the technicalities of climate change, the meteorological department and what it has to communicate, the person at the lower level will understand weather mostly. We look at the longer droughts, look at the very heavy rains, and then we see how they are affecting us, and then that is when we think about mitigation and adaptation. Mm-hmm. So when we think mitigation and adaptation, we start to channel our lives in that direction. How do we better our livelihoods despite the climate change and its impacts?
Yes. Tony, when we talk about climate change, in the layman's understanding, what should come into our minds?
In the layman's tongue, what should come into our minds is, for instance, this November, in Senene, not very much at all.
Yes,
why?
Yes.
The rains are not so much as they used to be. So the Senene are very little, and they came in very late.
So we can be able to understand climate change by its impacts
exactly
to our day-to-day living. That we are used November, mwezi gwa msenene, but we are getting into December, and we just got the few grasshoppers, which are also not enough because yes, we had a few last week, and now you don't see much of them on the street and in the markets.
Exactly.
And therefore, a Ugandan can be able to understand it's because of the less rains that we have gotten that we are not having the grasshoppers.
Exactly, because the weather, the climate affects the plants, the growth, and then these are where the grasshoppers grow from, and then they don't have anywhere to go, so we don't have them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And why should we pay attention to climate change at the moment?
For one, if we don't, we may crash. If you don't care to see how you face this problem, you'll find us very hungry, starving at that, because the foods have been destroyed in the gardens, because they were not even able to grow, let alone destruction. So we have to focus a lot and see how tomorrow is better than today. That is where now we have to align our interests. Because if we do not pay so much attention and just look on, in the next 7, 8, 9 months, our markets will be empty, our food markets. And that goes to our saucepans and finally our stomachs. And then nutrition also comes in there, where you have to think, okay, I cannot get as many mangoes as I used to, so how can I something or something closer to the benefits I used to get from mangoes? So you have to integrate these aspects as someone in this world, not just Uganda, because it's affecting the whole world.
Tony, what are some of the most causes of climate change?
The biggest cause of climate change in this world is industrialization. It's the biggest. We can't really run away from it. I will not say us as Africans don't have a really big role that we've played in the negative impacts of climate change as they are, but the biggest cause has been industrialization, because that brings about the most degradation when it comes to
you understand the biggest cause you're talking about is also the biggest driver of development for countries.
So what we should focus on mostly is trying to do everything. Like when we are going for, say, to set up factories, let us look for ways we can set up these factories without polluting the air. Let us look for ways we can set up factories that don't produce a lot of plastic. I mean, I'm growing mushrooms. Why not use something that is reusable rather than plastic bags? If we go that direction, we still have industrialization, but we don't affect the world as it is. I'm not saying industrialization is not good. It's among the SDGs. We just have to think of it in a way that it doesn't affect the grandchildren that we're expecting to get.
And that comes to the incorporation of basically climate impact assessments in all that we do. If you're going to set up a factory, even if it's in a wetland, can you do a social and environment impact assessment by NEMA, such that you're certified to confirm that the place where you're going to set up the industry or the activities you're going to do are not going to be hazardous to the environment, but also to the people who live in that environment? And why we're having this set for you people who are watching is to show you how we can be able to use whatever we have and save the environment. This is a space where the offices of Green Ambassadors is, and it's just sitting on about 100 by 100, but we have a chance to have this green in our background, and you can be able to also see the chicken right here enjoying. So that's biodiversity. We can all be able to coexist with the environment, but also be able to do all the other works that we can. So it doesn't hurt for you to use your balcony to set up something. They can be spices, they can be flowers, but something that you know is going to be green and be able to serve the environment. And it makes a whole lot of sense. And how bad is the environment and climate change impact here in Uganda? And if nothing is done, how bad can it go?
We take action early enough and right action, that said. But if we do not take action, we are going to crash. I was in Soroti last week, and I realized despite the heavy rains that we are seeing in Kampala at the moment,
yes,
Soroti is pretty dry.
Well,
the maize cobs are very tiny and they are drying up. So what happens? We don't have to just look at what we can see now. And let us look out there, because you'll find that not all the food that we consume comes from Kampala. So you also have to look at those other areas and how are they coping. Let's drought-resistant species coming on board. Though, as we are having them, we should look at their health impact. Because sometimes people think of going with chemicals and all, but eventually they have the synthetic impact on our health. So it is quite a lot when it comes to getting a better environment despite the climate change. People are running to pesticides. They are running to some of these other inorganic manures that, despite the drought, have your beans come through. But at the end of the day, there is diseases that are coming. There are cancers that we don't want to see. And they are also depleting the quality of the soil. So we have to be very mindful, take the right action, and take it immediately.
You talk about, the pesticides and whatever, using them when they are organic. Are those options available? Because I'm looking at someone who is going to go commercial. Someone is doing a square mile of a farm, 100 acres. Can we be able to have organic fertilizers, for example, organic pesticides that can be able to serve on that a large scale?
Yeah, definitely. Look at organizations like Root Zone. Root Zone has this project, biofertilizer, where they work with only organic fertilizers. They produce these fertilizers on large scale.
The common practices that we can have for a common person in order to be able to, protect the environment and put climate change in consideration in our day-to-day life.
For one, we can look at agroforestry with tree species that have benefits to the soil and cedar shade, and sometimes even fruit. So you're benefiting the soil for the other crops that you're growing. This is an agroforestry. And then you're harvesting your fruit, either for sale or for home consumption. That is improvement in nutrition. And there is something bigger on your plate. So that is one. And then the other, even if you've not gone agroforestry, you could choose to, there are people who have a lot of land, they've been fortunate, you can have a forest there. As someone has constructed a factory somewhere, there are these trees that are capturing carbon.
Amazing. Tony, you want to come in?
Yeah. For instance, I have this this thing that I do every single year on my birthday. I either plant a tree or give out trees. I like giving out trees a lot. So
as other people invite their fellows to go eat, celebrate and stuff,
I don't get time to celebrate my birthday because it's
wonderful,
a public holiday.
wonderful. Let's go in for a break. We'll be coming back with Tony telling us what exactly he does. That's as an individual to protect the environment and also make sure that he's, putting climate change in consideration in almost everything that he does. We're going for a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Youth of Purpose here on UBC TV. I'm Ivan Tumkonde, and today I'm hosting Anne and Tony. We are discussing youth leading environmental change. What is the role of us as the youth in making sure that we protect the environment? And Tony, as we went into the break, you're telling us what you're doing as an individual to protect the environment.
Yeah, sure. I'll just say that on my birthday, a tree or give out trees, because my birthday is another day, so I don't get to celebrate it. Everyone wants to go home for Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. So on Mother's Day, you can always celebrate with Tony and plant a tree. And what do you do individually to put a break in protecting the environment?
I have personally had a lot of interest in the field of waste management. And in this, it goes down to my family at home. My oldest child is 7, but he knows what it means to manage waste. He knows that he should sort the waste because I have different bins. So when I have plastics, there is somewhere I put them, and afterwards they can always get them and make some stuff out of them, play stuff, and you find them playing with them. So every time I get the chance to interact with someone, and I realize that they have this problem on waste management, because I know its impact on the environment, it is quite hot. So I make sure that I make them understand in depth. The other problem we have in Uganda, especially with the youth, they're not so much informed about the impact of our activities to the environment. Why? Most of them have not been feeding directly from the environment. Most of them. And very few have been using. Find that there are some youth in villages where I have traveled, and they are making bricks, which is good for business. They're earning an income. They're chopping a lot of trees. So we need to make this awareness in depth. Every time you get the chance, don't wait for a workshop.
Do something about it.
The Bible says, let us take care of all things, take care of all his creation. Then why not preserve the world? Because this world is all his creation. So it is our role as human beings and as youth, especially because we're the biggest population, to preserve and conserve the world. So plant a tree. Find a polythene on the ground, pick it up. I mean, you could even sell it for money. Pick it up, take it to a recycling center. You'll get some money out of it. If you want the money. If you don't, then just pick it up. It's still good for the environment. A tree can grow in its place.
Yes. And a young person out there who wants to get started doing something about the environment today, what is the basic that they can start with?
For starters, you just have to look around you. It doesn't have to be very expensive. Look around you. Find opportunities in what is around you at the very beginning. Some people think going initiatives is very expensive, but when you look around, you're working in a trading center, and you see people picking up plastic. This means they have value. So you can start by having a stationed bin where they drop them, customers from the different shops at the end of the day, and then you can sell those. You're doing something for the environment. 2, around us, we've been fortunate, most of us, there are trees that are growing within. So you have seedlings near you. You do not have to look so far in the nursery beds. You're scared the tree seedling will cost me around 3,000. There are seedlings around you. Start with those. Plant those. And then afterwards you can get into the knowledge of nursery bed management, and then you can sell some seedlings. It's a lot.
Good. I think the basic is each one of us can do something about it to protect the environment. And before we do the big things, or before we actually look outside to who is destroying the environment, before we look at industrialization that Tony was talking about, ask ourselves, what are we doing that you think is hazardous to the environment? So start with yourself. After eating something in a polythene bag, where do you put it? After taking that water in a bottle, where do you put the bottles? After taking that soda, where do you put the bottles? So if you have that discipline starting with you, that you understand I cannot be throwing bottles in polythene bags after using them. Keep them until when maybe you get home and put them in a dustbin, but you find you're in the car, and before you know it, someone is throwing out a bottle, a polythene bag, and it's really disturbing. So we can start with ourselves, you yourself, and this festive season, as you're traveling home and you're done eating your nyama choma, you're done eating your KFC, you're done, make sure that you're able to keep whatever you have used, and you will dispose it after reaching your destination. All that you're doing, Tony, you're doing it through Green Ambassadors.
Yes, yes.
Tell us about the Green Ambassadors Club.
So the Green Ambassadors Club is an organization, a youth-led organization, because most of us are well below 30. What we do is focus on finding practical solutions to the problems affecting the environment. For instance, rather than telling Ivan that, you know what, Ivan, please don't cut down that tree. I mean, I don't have a right, it's your tree. I mean, you need to pay rent, you need to buy food and do all those things.
Yep.
So I don't have a right to tell you not to sell off the tree. I would rather tell you, you know what, let me teach you how you can make soap, how you can make briquettes, how you can make a hell lot of things out of it without cutting it down. That way, the tree keeps up, it is sustainable, because you're getting things out of it from a daily.
Yep.
And you don't have a reason to cut it down because you make way more money by keeping it up than cutting it down.
Yeah.
We teach youth how to, recycle and get money out of it. We have these programs like upcycling, and then we have partners like Riham, shout out to Ishta, that help us teach youth how they can, earn a living from plastic. So that is basically what we do. And then also, it's very difficult to listen to people speaking NDCs and all that. So we find a bit more appealing ways to spread the message,
to the young people.
To speak to the young people. They don't want to listen to all this blabber about policies and climate change and all that. So we go through music, dance, poetry, and drama.
Wow.
I mean, you'd rather listen to Bonita sing a very, very nice poem about climate change than listen to me speak about policies, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
And being a vice president of Green Ambassadors, what impact do you think the Green Ambassadors is having in the lives of young people, and how much are you influencing them to be pro-climate and be able to protect the environment?
The impact, I would say, is quite high. For one, when we go to meet these young people, the message we give them, we make sure they take it on to the others. That's one way to have impact.
Yep.
It doesn't just stay with them. And whatever we do with them is visible to the others. So then it broadens. So then we believe that, and we normally do activities that have some monetary benefit. So this, first of all, interests our primary target groups, and then the other people that are at a distance are also interested to come and join. So I believe our impact is quite big.
Good. You have an upcoming project where you're looking at, restoring an island, Kimi. Tell us about Kimi, and actually of all the islands that have issues, why did you pick Kimi? But first, give us a little background about Kimi Island.
So Kimi is a bit sad. The story of Kimi is a bit sad, and Kimi is an island that suffers a great deal of fires. Fires are not new to islands, but with Kimi, it suffers a great deal because almost every 5 months for the past 4 years, it's been burnt down.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any trees except the ones that we've been trying to plant.
Yeah.
It was completely burnt down. So it's on Kome Islands, Mukono side, and it has around 5,800 people, and it's very small because it's around less than 8 hectares. So it's overpopulated, and you don't blame them because they don't have any other place to go. So what we have been trying to do together with a lot of people, the Rotary Club of Mukumba, stewards, Youth of Purpose, and very many other players, we've been trying to fight to see that we restore this island for the past 3 years. We started with phase 1. the Kimiat hut after it had just been burnt down.
Yeah.
Where we taught the women and the young people how they could make money sustainably using the things around them, and we also taught them how they could plait hair and do those, because they're women. And
so this time around, what are you going to be doing, and actually how can people come in to be able to support the cause?
So this time around, we're going in for the health and climate bit. We realized that the biggest problems they had was, first of all, they didn't have a hospital on the island.
Yeah.
When pregnant women have to cross over to the mainland, which is almost 3 hours, and then still the island is still dry as much as we try to plant trees. So we're going in to plant trees, and we're donating clothes to them because, well, they're poor. It's a poor community. And then we're also going to have a health camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for people who want to participate, how should they come in?
So we have individual participation where everyone is paying 50,000, and that money is going to go towards catering for the lunch, transport, and then also buying a few things. But we also welcome clothes, food stuff, medical supplies from anyone that can help out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Tony and Anne, for being part of today's episode. I do believe people who can be part of that cause can be able to reach out to you and support in all the ways that they can be able to, for the cause of protecting the environment, but also saving the people of Kimi Island. And I do believe if each one of us can be able to play their role, we can be able to protect and preserve Mother Nature. And from me, Anne and Tony, but also for coexisting the chicken here, the mango tree here that has given us a shade from the fresh breeze here, we say goodbye to you, and we say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you all. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Youth of Purpose.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
From foundations to homes, to skyscrapers, sketches to superhighways, come meet the people raising the bar in construction at the first ever Uganda Construction and Infrastructure Forum and Exhibition. Genuine contractors, architects, engineers, surveyors, financiers, suppliers, manufacturers, and policy makers under one umbrella for all your construction needs. For 4 days of thought-provoking discussions, exhibitions, and networking. Don't miss the enigmatic Professor P.L. Olumumba, our keynote speaker, from the 14th to the 17th of December at Kololo Independence Grounds. Visit www.unapsec.co.ug for sponsorship and exhibitions. Call Miss Helen or Mr. Mike Serunkuma on 0774 992 514.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This is Chilling.
She is a firm believer in spreading love, kindness, and faith wherever she goes. You know, her career has spanned for over decades, and this has been true because she has this unmatched skill when it comes to acting. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about a tremendous lady, a legend, an icon in this industry that you're gonna love to meet. She goes by the names of Madam Sarah Kisubi, and she's inside here waiting for me to unveil to you what we call an insightful conversation that you're gonna love. Please follow me.
The 70s were a grand decade. Theatre was one of those cultural moments that shaped our world and how we live today. The stage birthed actors like Sarah Kisubi, known for her outstanding contributions to the entertainment industry.
We started acting on stage. I didn't know what to do. I mean, it was all by God and guess. I didn't have any clue, but just be happy.
This conversation is about realizing a dream, reminiscing about the good old days, and appreciating life.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the best of the good life. Like as you heard me in the introduction, today is quite a special day. I'm putting on a tie. And people never seen me in a tie just because we have an icon on the show. She has gone as much as making me put on a tie. I'm telling you, this lady's journey in the entertainment industry has been nothing short of extraordinary. Maybe it's because of her captivating art and her captivating skill of acting. You know, she has been able to influence and inspire so many young people. Maybe it's because of her captivating art and her captivating skill of acting. You know, show to you what we call having the flamboyant and energetic, beautiful Mama Sarah Kisubi.
Jesus.
Quite an introduction.
You have rapped so much. I'm so wrapped in so many.
I'm so excited. I was like, how am I even going to? I'm not even worthy to sit just close to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the
warm welcome. People never know me of putting on ties. The tie.
Drago. I forgot to mention you are just so smart.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How do you manage to stay this young? Like every single time I see you, it's like you're becoming younger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in kukadiwa. We just grow.
Yeah.
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 Do I just weathering? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you're always in your prime and you're enjoying your life. You're looking. You've aged gracefully, and that is amazing.
Thank you. And many people keep on asking me, but by the grace of God, I guess, and I not take so much. I would say just loving myself.
Okay. And there's something that we were talking about very interestingly, that there's something called meridian therapy.
Meridian.
Meridian.
Yes,
you see?
I'm
just getting to learn more about this, which is like a Chinese traditional kind of treatment.
Yes.
And this is part of what you're doing, and it's what is keeping you looking this shiny and beautiful.
It's really
as
reversed.
Yeah.
I see myself and I wonder at times when it's a good day.
Yeah.
It's my son and me.
Yeah.
And we belong to a network marketing group for how.
Yeah.
If you've ever heard about it.
Okay.
We deal in Chinese.
Yeah.
Alternative medicine.
Yeah.
I would call it alternative because there is medicine. But even this one works, and it's what they are trying to promote it.
Yeah.
It has just been here for some years. Like during COVID, that's when it came, that company. I belong to so many.
Yeah.
I'm a bad eater, so I had to supplement, to start on supplementing my diet.
How does it work, ma'am? How does it work? Do you deal? It has to do with energies and magnets, and how does it work? That whole shebang.
It's like
please tell me.
It's like a battery, like in a car.
Yeah.
Because we have masanyalaze ourselves.
Yeah.
But then what we do, that type of massage, is we recharge your body.
Yeah.
Each cell has got to be touched on, but we just use the spine. We go along the spine.
Yeah.
Because there the energy distributes to different organs.
Yeah.
I wish I had come with my son because he's now
so vast about this. Yeah.
Patrick Kabajo.
Yeah.
He's way above.
Oh wow.
He's now on the move to teach people how to use those machines because you can't buy it before given a certificate. Yeah, that you know what to do. Because we are dealing with power.
These Chinese things really work, ma'am. Abantu abamu tebabikkiririzaamu, but
Anti
they truly work.
ekyo kireka abatayagala ne bakireka. It's a choice. Yes, it's a choice. But for me, I saw it and I jump on opportunities. When it comes, I grab it.
Wow, look at you.
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes.
You always look like a 20-year-old. No offense. I don't assume.
Yeah, I turned 70 and I'm very proud of it.
Wow.
7-0.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it was last week. Is it on 22nd
Such
November?
a tender age.
Yes.
Tender age.
Yes.
And you're still going. I'm so proud of you, man.
Yeah.
So you must have been quite a head turner in your 20s. I'm just picturing this. Like you are this gorgeous girl by that time.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, people, they see different.
Okay, what I'm quite sure you must have received a lot of comments back then about you know, your gorgeousness and your beauty and how you are.
But I have a mirror.
Yeah.
I can see, and you know, and just it's all gratifying. You know, I'm just full of gratitude.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because beauty. Yeah. I don't know, but it's different for different people. But what I found out, like through my travels in different countries, I find that they do say beautiful.
Yeah.
So I go to China and they say, you beautiful.
Yeah.
You go to where I was in Ireland, still they say, never seen that. So it reflects.
I'm sure you kind of got used to it. You're like, nah.
Yeah, because it's just like you are given two hands there, you know. And I thank God for that.
Did that have come in your way of doing things in life? Like, for example, getting opportunities into plays and stepping up to the big stages. Your appearance?
I don't think so that I got favors of that.
Come on. Right now it plays a chance for any young girl that is beautiful can hit any film or any stage.
Oh yes. But okay, fine. Life becomes much easier.
Much easier.
Yeah, just like you look at a flower, if it is fresh, you appreciate it more. Yeah. So you try to keep yourself. That's why I keep myself checking myself. Yeah. So don't leave the house before looking in the mirror. No. I appreciate myself, then I say, okay, now I can hit the road.
Okay. And it's always good to know that what you're capable of. And ma'am, one other thing I mentioned about is that you're a philanthropist.
What is that? That's too heavy word for me. Explain it. I'm sure there are many out there.
I mean, you must have some charity organization, or you like to give back to the community, talk to young people, and your contribution has to be felt. There's also something very resonating and something that humbled me when we're talking before the cameras roll is like, I asked you that what could be your one legacy that you want to leave on this planet, and you told me you want to give out everything,
and I'm serious about it.
Like
I want to give
your entire everything before you die.
In the head out.
Wow.
And I would like to work more on my brand by engaging so many different what do you call them, obuyambi, which doesn't come easy. If I'm to ask for funds or for money, I just need money to help other people. And that's been me. I got it from my father and my mother. They are so giving. They used to be very giving people. So money is nothing. It's just, if you don't share it, then it's there. And I wouldn't like that. So I want to engage myself into as many charities as possible. But it is the money. Now, like when I fell in this trap of celebrity, Ugandan version, I always add on that.
Yeah.
Celebrity, I say celebrity without a charity,
Yeah.
because what we are doing right now is just a start, that we haven't got enough. It's not paying as much as in Hollywood.
Yeah. And what could be done? Or do you think you could perhaps avail yourself to be affiliated to certain maybe companies or brands that would want to use you as a face and go to these places? Because there's so many young people and young girls that are looking up to you. You know this, right?
Yeah, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed and privileged to be, who am I really?
Yeah.
I'm just Sarah Kisubi.
You are a lady that has accomplished a lot. Speaking of accomplishment, so right from the beginning, let's go way back. A lot of people don't know this, that you are not born as an artist. You are not born as an actor.
Yes.
There's somehow along the way you picked that up. When was that? Was it the time that you used in the 70s when you used to do drama shows for certain radio?
Yes, I started with UBC.
Ooh, hours.
I started by doing radio plays.
Okay.
We had one which was very popular at that time. That was way back 1972. I just wanted to take refuge in this, like going out wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you are out and everybody's on you, like, I wasn't ready. So I just decided, and I'm a person full of humor, still from my parents. I just wanted to laugh.
Yeah.
Do something and be happy. I always go to where the energy is. I don't want anything that weaken my energy, because I feel I'm just like that.
Yeah.
So I ended up at the UBC with a group of friends.
Yeah.
And finally we had this play. I was in it. Very popular. It was called, is it Dr. Chidugavu?
Yes.
Like that, acting as a nursing sister. That was the start. But it was just hide away from, that was during Amin's time.
Yeah, because I was going to say, among all this distraction that was going around, how were you concentrating on this artistry? And tell me, you first answer that, because I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of questions. Amongst all these distractions, how were you like concentrating on your art back then? It must have been hard.
It wasn't hard, because it's moving just from Lago to UBC, where it is right now.
Oh, so you grew up from Mulago?
No, I was doing nursing there. I was studying registered nursing there in Mulago Nurses School. Yeah. But during my free time, that's when I used to go to UBC, and they used to pay us.
Oh, awesomely, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are the dynamics now? I mean, wasn't the theater there by then? Like
it was
theater?
Actually from UBC, our group moved to stage plays.
Yeah.
And I moved with them.
Okay.
So we started acting on stage. I didn't know what to do. I mean, it was all by God and guess. I didn't have any clue, but just be happy.
Yeah. You had this one weapon that you were using against all your fellow actors. You are pretty. You are gorgeous.
Actually, that time, these the script writers, all the owners of the stage plays, they would take us on.
Yeah.
Not only me, of course, there are many people who were looking good, just to pull the crowds.
Yeah.
Because that's so.
Yeah.
And people would come.
Who were the popular actors back then in the 70s?
In the 70s?
Yeah, to do with theater, stage play, and all that.
Is in Manyiko, Makula, Gakulabako.
Okay.
Sadly not attending, but it had pretty ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the men.
Yeah.
They really put up a very nice play. There were many, but I never used to go and watch. I do my thing and out.
Yeah.
I go and out, yes. But I knew they were there.
Okay. And how was the high life back then? When I mean high life, I mean in terms of leisure, in terms of the best club, the place to be on weekends, the beach.
No, there was one near Diamond. Just in Mugundi, in Birizi, was it about just Aoku? There was I've even forgotten the name. Yeah, Kenya Airways. That's where we used to have.
Club.
Not that I'm losing the memory, but I don't know, for some funny.
Maybe
it's not
you are
now.
not into that kind of life. Which kind of lifestyle were you into?
Just happy. Yeah.
Okay.
We weren't messing up at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, full of life.
All right. Interesting. All right, that is quite an interesting start for our interview. We are going to go in for a break. Why are you laughing?
Because I see you deep. You. It's like you want to get more, scooping out much.
I mean, you've mentioned it that you've been to 1,000 interviews.
Yes.
And I'm telling you that every experience has to be different. And we are chilling. It's more of a laid-back kind of format. Yeah, we don't get much into the serious stuff. So we take a break, and we are still here with the flamboyant, the best actress herself, Madame Sarah Kisubi. So don't move anywhere, don't touch that remote control. Please go take a glass of water and a cup of tea, or you can stick around and share with us, and be right back here on Chilling.
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us on free-to-air channel 001, DSTV channel 282, GoTV channel 371, Star Times channel 201, Zuku TV channel 20, and Azam TV channel 350. Even when your subscription expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
Alright, now if you're just joining us and you're wondering why I have this huge smile on my face, it's just because we are having an icon and a legend on set. This lady grows like a fine glass of wine, you know, every single time. Adabuto, and when you look at her, you won't really disagree with me. She is a musician, she is a philanthropist, she's an actress.
A musician? Aren't you lying?
No, I'm not lying. Yo, let's dispel that.
No, I'll tell you.
Let's dispel that.
Okay.
Every vlog that I've read, when I was doing research about you, it mentioned that you've sung or you've done
on my daughter's wedding. Yes, I did. Composed the song and